Guys, get an update to that. About the controller not connecting. Here's some things that to know. So I'm gonna turn the console on. I'm gonna turn on my controller. See, my controller pairs are fine after I sent it in to Microsoft for a pair, and it seems to get out. But I think I found out the issue. If I try restarting the console, then I think that's when the issues came, because it's working fine now, and I want to tell you something. Whenever the sync button here does nothing to the logo, because the logo should be flashing when you press this, there's no way you can pair this controller up. The cable won't even do that at all. So if I go ahead and turn this control on, it's going to do the same thing again. No, this time it paired up. This time it paired the controller paired up. But yes, the control. If you try plugging the controller into the console directly with that wireless issue, it just won't work. So I'm gonna restart the console again to see if it would, because it did it when I restarted the console, which does not make sense. So I had this issue for a while, and once I sent it over to Microsoft, they replaced the card that connects these controllers, and they seem to have fixed the issue. So, because look, see, it's now pairing now. They fixed the issue, because this used to not pair until after a few minutes later, which was so annoying when it happens, because I got wait for ages for it to load up. So, but just to let you know, if you press this and the Xbox logo does not start flashing like that, you cannot pair the controller. When I troubleshoot this before, I pressed it and it wasn't flashing on that, and I even tried the damn cable as well, but it didn't work. It did not work when I tried it with the cable. It just refuses the controller if the wireless card in there for the controller is not initialized. I know I'm crazy, but that's what I tried to do. I tried everything, and I had to send the console in for repair. It only did it one time again. I think when I started after. So now it's paired up with the cable. And I bet so the thing is, before I sent this in for Microsoft repair, that has gotten such an annoyance that okay. It has gotten such an annoyance that I had to actually send it in for repair. I even tried resetting it with it keeps using out. That fixed it, but then it started becoming an issue again. So once I sent it to Microsoft for repair, and then I got this console back, the controllers have been pairing up fine now. So yeah, this is just one questionable issue I found. Received a lot of things that said hold this button down, and I know you do that to pair, but if the sync button here is not flashing when you press it doesn't do anything, it means that the card that makes these controllers work with it is not initialized. So therefore, when you use the cable, it will not pair properly. So I received a lot of backlash from that last video saying to hold the sync button down, use the cable. It does not work. I tried all of those when this problem became an issue before I sent it into Microsoft for repair. This became a major issue with this. So like I said, this has become like it became a major issue. Like before I got this controller, actually, it's become an issue to even the controller I had that came with the console. Like, um, like what I'm saying is, this I had this for like almost a year, and it started to have So after I got it back, I started having issues with the pairing. Since and I didn't think about it much since I never really used this console. But after it became such an annoyance, I actually had to send it in to Microsoft for repair. And once I repaired it, it seems to be able to connect the controllers fine. This one's not registered. It's only that one that's registered to my account, because that's technically the controller I use, because it's got the back grips and custom control as well. So yeah, what I'm saying is is for that pair issue I found. For some I was able to turn it off, and it was just like half off, and when I used the controller to turn it on, it paired up fine. So so just to let you know, I did the video after I got my Xbox back, but when I had that pair issue, so I'm dropping about, but when I had that pair issue, I tried the cable plugging it into the controller. I tried that, and when you believe it, it was still flashing on the controller. The controller was not detecting anything through the cable. So when I unplugged it, it was still flashing. It wasn't pairing up, and this sync button didn't do anything to the Xbox logo. It wasn't making the Xbox logo flash, basically. So yeah. And that's before I sent it into Microsoft. After sending it to Microsoft, the console seems to be working perfectly now. It seems to be working perfectly, and I like it. And I like the support they gave me to. I like when they repaired it. It works fine now. And of course, this failure in the console was just internal, and I didn't even open it up or anything. I just sent it over to Microsoft, and it's still under warranty and it's covered. They changed the wireless card, or like reinstalled the OS, and replaced the wireless card, and they just sent the console back, and I was able to get the console back. So like what I'm saying is, yapping about for a lot, but I'm saying that before I sent this console over to Microsoft, it had that pair issue. And I tried everything. The sync button wasn't working because the wireless card was not initializing. It was working when I went into recovery mode. And when I tried to key, I plugged it in. Nada was happening. Nada was happening with the cable. So yeah, nothing was happening with the cable. So once I sent it to Microsoft and I got it back, and you saw the other video, I turned on this controller and it paired up, which means that they did not replace the console. They just replaced the wireless card inside. They just fixed it and put a new service tag on the back of the console. So yeah, before I made a video on it, and before I sent it to Microsoft, I looked on YouTube on how to fix that issue, but it didn't help me. So I went over to the community support to say contact Xbox support, and when I did that, I had a call with them. And they said that you should start an order, which is what I did. I started, and then I canceled it because it was working fine. But after I saw that happening again, I started a new order and then just sent the console over to Microsoft. Then Microsoft opened the console, replaced the card for the controllers, closed it up, tested it rigorously, and then they sent the console back over to me. So, when I sent the console to them, it was UPS. But when they sent the console back, it was FedEx. FedEx and UPS should be in the UK, but also it could be in your other countries as well. But Yeah, that's one thing that annoyed me because a lot of people say that say here, where's say here for this, say here to hold this to get into parry mode, and then press this. But when the wise core is not initializing, pressing this does not put this into parry mode. See, it just paired up because I had the control next to it. But if I pressed if I had pressed this and this logo was not flashing, the logo was not flashing, then trying to hit it with the cable won't work at all. So I'm saying is when that issue arises for me from owning this refurbished console, I bought it refurbished, and I had to send it in for repair. So, of course, when they repaired it, they put like new sticker here, so it looks like nothing was even open, but they opened it and they just put new stickers on it to make it look like they they didn't open it. But I bet they did to repair it and just put in a new one. Now this one did pop off, but I was able to push it back on. This is kind of like a Dell Optiflex small form factor. Not the tall one, that you can stand it up vertically, or you can stand it horizontally with the small form factor Dell tower. You can put it horizontally and put the monitor right on top of it, making it kind of like an AIO PC, but not really. So right now I have it in the vertical position. You see there's vents on the bottom. And it is covering the vents on the bottom, but there's vents on the side designed for that purpose. So if you have it like a horizontal way, the bottom vent will be uncovered. This will be covered. So, like I said, with this console, it's with the controller. The controller worked fine on my computer. Like I even updated the controllers to make sure they were all up to date, but yet even that did not fix that pairing issue. So, like I said, sometimes the pair issue cannot be fixed just by a controller update. And I believe this console also was getting updates, but it still had that issue. So it was definitely a hardware issue. So once I sent it into Microsoft, they replaced that card, and I put it back in the case. And then shipped it back to me, and it's been working ever since. So like I said, when this issue arose, before I sent it over to Microsoft, I tried with the cable, and it just refused to work. The cable just basically was acting as a power cable. So yeah, this was basically one thing that got a lot of backlash in my last videos, because people think I'm not doing it correctly, and the controller was indeed paired, as you can see, all of them paired up properly. The issue was lying. Issue lies with just the software and the hardware. So yeah, sometimes the hardware does take a while to initialize, and when that happens, sometimes a restore will work. But yeah, I did have that issue before where when I pressed the sync button to try to sync the controller up, the console's Xbox Lite was not flashing. It was not giving a response, making me think the sync button wasn't working. But yeah, the sync button wasn't broken. It was a wise card issue. So yeah. So don't you go back to my other video and say that I have to use the sync button, I have to use the cable. I tried all that already. I already tried all that off camera, and they don't work. I tried everything. So yeah, if you have the exact issue, the cable and this will not work. Will simply not work. If this comes an issue where your controls won't connect, after moving your console, you're going to have to send it to Microsoft, telling you that something wrong with something in the hardware. So after that, they will repair it if it's under warranty, and send the console back. So I'm saying, if you have that issue, don't using the cable, pressing the sync button does not do anything. Even trying to do it on the controller does not do anything. So yeah, okay, this is George.